for mobile home parks. Would you like to see this become permanent? And what do you think needs to be done to protect mobile home park residents when facing park closures?
Well, the greatest thing that we could do to protect the mobile home park residents, and we were just out yesterday walking mobile home parks in G Street area, and I know they're very concerned, and I'm very concerned about their future as well. Park owners are going to be tempted to sell. Park owners, if they're happy with what they're receiving back in rent, and if they're happy with how the city treats them, I don't see them changing. I don't see them selling out their land. A lot of rumors are flying out there, a lot of innuendos, this being a political year. As far as the overlay goes, from what I understand from staff, the overlay is in the unlikely event that one of these parks gets sold. Staff wants to be proactive in being able to have a plan for that particular part of the community just in case something happens. I'm going to work very, very hard to make sure that the residents of the mobile home park are protected and well served by sitting down with the park owners and making sure that we have fair rents for everybody. And I think if that happens, we're not going to see another Jade Bay. And I know there's a lot of concern about that.
Answer the question directly about the overlay, mobile home park overlay district, making it permanent. Yes, definitely I would want to make it permanent. I would also advocate, which I have done on the Planning Commission, for a fair process to compensate people in the valuation of their mobile homes in such a way that they can take the fair market value, which uses comparable sales to arrive at a value, as opposed to the Blue Book depreciation type valuation approach. So I think those are very important, and I don't think it's that unlikely that these parks, the owners will want to redevelop these parcels and move out the tenants. We saw that very recently with Jade Bay. These parks have been upzoned in the general plan, so it is very necessary to put something in place to protect these people adequately. So the overlay zone is very important, as is a good ordinance. Thank you.
Support the overlay. I think we need to have a plan. I also think that if something does happen to a park, people need to get fair market value for their house, their home. They've lived in it, they've invested in it. They need to have fair market value. Excuse me. We also need to have plans for them. We need to have buildings and apartments and places that these people can move to that are reasonable rents that they can afford. So they need to have all that assistance set up for them before they have to move out of their homes.
I was glad to support the overlay zone when I voted on it with the city council. You know, what occurred at Jade Bay, which was essentially the impetus for that particular piece of legislation, was a tragedy. It was a tragedy not only for the 76 families that lived in that community, it was a tragedy for the taxpayers of Chula Vista. We had 76 seniors and family members that lived in that community that were basically paying their own space rent. They were paying the mortgage on their own pieces of property in terms of a mobile home. And now roughly half of those people were displaced, and they're now on public assistance in terms of rent subsidies. Ladies and gentlemen, you are now paying part of their rent. You don't own a piece of that property. You're not going to get a benefit out of the redevelopment of that property. And so that sort of thing should never happen again in the city of Chula Vista. I supported the overlay so that doesn't happen, and I believe that we need to work with the with the mobile home park owners and the residents to ensure fairness when in fact a piece of property is eligible and is it appropriate for redevelopment, but people can't be displaced just because somebody wants to make a profit.